Each time we get to this place, people want to make their New Year's resolution. As I said in the first episode, gyms are filled with people in the month of January. Those numbers start to die down in February, even more in March. And by the time you get to April and May, you are back to the very same people who were at the gym the year before, every month. Why? Because those people are resolute about what it is that they want. Those are the people who don't have competing desires to get them off track. So if you're going to have a dominating desire in your life, then it means you have to attach more value to it. And we don't do that. And so we have the competing desires come in and they trip us up. Now, this happens to me all the time. Believe me, I know firsthand what this is all about. My desires are constantly competing with each other. Now, the desires that I have are all good. They're not bad things. And oftentimes they're all kind of in the same area. And so I can get excited about something and want to devote myself to it. Man, a few hours later, I check something else out and that kind of stirs the juices about something else that I'm interested in. Well, I can't spread myself that thin. Right? I can't be devoted to that many different things and expect to be effective about it and have any time for anything else. So I have to prioritize my desires. I have to determine which desires are the most important because we can't keep second guessing ourselves. Believe me, I do it. I do second guess myself, not second guessing in the sense that I don't have the ability to do something, second guessing myself in my case that is it something that I really should be doing, or is there something else that's maybe more important, and trying to look for the criteria of judgment, as to how to determine what's the best thing. And so that takes some thought. I mean, that takes, some writing down notes to yourself and outlining advantages and disadvantages to any one thing, but you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to look at what are the most important things in your life right now. Now, sometimes the symptoms of your life, whether financial, vocational, relational, physical, sometimes the symptoms of these different areas of your life are going to determine what the priority needs to be placed on. So health, for example, is a big one for a lot of people. They're not doing well. And because they're not doing well physically, then it affects other areas of their life. So you might be struggling, for example, with a relationship or job, which is then affecting your finances, but and you think it might be some other area that's challenging you about it. We may find out, that if you just generally felt better physically, you wouldn't be dealing with half the problems that you have in life. And I believe that's the case pretty much for all of us. If we were doing better physically, in other words, our bodies were operating at peak performance, right? We were eating the right things, we were physically healthy, and we were getting sufficient amount of sleep, I think half of the crap that we deal with relationally, job-wise, and others would dissipate all by themselves. So much of our performance, so much of the way we look at life is determined by the way that we feel physically. That's why I try not to make decisions when I'm fatigued. I try not to make decisions when I haven't been sleeping well. Because if I sleep well, and I already do eat good for the most part, then man, my decisions will be completely different than when I'm fatigued. The negativity is stronger when you're fatigued, when you're not feeling well. So you want to make sure you feel better. Therefore, if you're not someone who is routinely training, who really has their diet dialed in and for the most part keeps good nutrition, then I'm going to suggest that you make health your priority. And so that has to become a resolution. You have to attach value to that then. Value has to be attached to it. And you attach value by meditating. You attach value by feeding and resourcing yourself. As I've said in other episodes before about desire, desire is one of those things that gets hungrier the more that you feed it, right? Like a fire. A fire gets hungrier the more you feed it. You can't give a fire enough wood. But if you're hungry, for example, which is another form of desire, you can feed that hunger and it will dissipate. Once your stomach is full, you're not hungry anymore until your stomach is empty. Fire never gets full. And so desires are something that never get fulfilled. So if you need to attach value to something, then you need to feed that desire like you would throw wood on a campfire. Keep giving more and more fuel to your fire. So if it's health, for example, that you need to focus on, then it's important that you resource that area. Books, videos, what have you. Anything that you can do that will serve as feeding to the fire, because that's going to create more value. It's the more you understand and the more you know about something, the more or greater is going to be the sense of value that you have for it. And when that's the case, you become more unwavering, you become more determined, you become more resolute. So again, when we make a resolution, we want to make sure that within 2 or 3 months, we haven't fallen off course and given up on it and just returned to our old habits, to our default position in life. No, we want to keep our resolution. We want to fulfill our goals. We don't want to put our life on hold anymore. We want to really begin to live the dream. Really begin to live the life that you want. You won't get there quick, but you can get there each and every day. You can get closer each and every day. The issue is, do you have competing desires that are knocking you off course? Is laziness knocking you off course? Is procrastination knocking you off course? Are you constantly being distracted? If so, feed the flames of your focus. Feed the flames of your desire. Constantly resource to the degree that you simply cannot be negotiated with. Can you dig it? Hope you can.